There was a particular moment where I realized LittleBigPlanet was actually a very special game, and I realized that back in high school when the game came out for me, and I was playing it a little bit after it had released, and I had walked up to a friend who was at his locker, and we were just casually talking about things and all that, and this is in between periods, right? So there's a lot of people all, circulating around lockers and stuff like that, and I had mentioned, how I was working on a LittleBigPlanet level that I was making, and the girl that was right next to my buddy's locker, this was pretty popular chick, very pretty, but she was the kind of girl that, if you remember high school, or if you're in the high school scene right now, then you remember this is like a kind of girl that maybe wouldn't give us the time of day in any way, shape, or form. But the second she overheard us talking about LittleBigPlanet, without skipping a beat, she looked at both of us and said, "Oh my god, LittleBigPlanet, I love that game." And that's when I knew LittleBigPlanet really had some crazy good reach.
An ethereal dreamscape of adventure and possibilities. An abstract plane of beautiful wonderment just waiting to be explored. And you can go there now.
Oh my god, this is going to be a very easy remembering video to do, and what's insane is that this game is that old enough for us to really do a remembering video. I mean, it's close to very, very close to a decade old. A few more years to go for LittleBigPlanet, but it's getting up there. And this is the first LittleBigPlanet. Nothing has changed in my pod, as you can see. Everything is custom. You can design your own little pod with all the stickers and objects and things like that. And this is my sack boy. I always used the one little dragon costume. Let's get on the pod computer and talk about why this game was so great, especially for its time. This was a very important title for Sony. I think we should really start it off in the gardens. Which, yeah, so our first steps would be the first level. Ooh, don't play online. Play on my own. And unsurprisingly, I do have a platinum trophy for LittleBigPlanet, so you'll see I have 100% and everything and whatnot. But oh my god. Dude, it's been so long since I've played this game. And it's nostalgic for just the first game in particular, because of course we had LittleBigPlanet 3 released not too long, a few years ago on the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4, and, received some, I'd say, pretty standard fanfare, because, of course, at that point, I think the game, LittleBigPlanet 3 kind of proved that the game didn't have a whole lot of staying power, which is unfortunate. People just kind of glossed over it, and, people were moving on to different things, and that's probably because of just the gameplay preferences of certain people. This game was in a different time, and that's just the simple reality of it. So maybe that might attribute as to why LittleBigPlanet 3 didn't do as well. This game was abundantly creative from all fronts, and it was what put Media Molecule on the map, and what ultimately led to Sony acquiring them as a developer, and they are still a first-party studio under Sony to this day, developing Dreams, coming to the PlayStation 4. What's amazing is that going through this first level, you realize how, from a creative standpoint, this was actually incredibly crude and very simple. At least, I guess, if you're also applying LBP 2 and 3 standards to this day. Because this is all very, very basic stuff in terms of level building. Oh my god, I love the little faces you can make. God, it doesn't get old whatsoever. Oh my god. Yeah, I'd like to continue. I'm having a good time. Oh my god, I just... I loved this game so much. You don't even realize, how many hours I've poured into this game. The last few remembering videos I've recorded, I tried to be a little funny, try to, have some good fun here. But this is, just pure love for me. This is easily a top game for me on the PlayStation 3's total library. God, what should we even do? I mean, so we just played a story level, that's all well and good. Of course, the real bread and butter to it was making your own levels and jumping into community levels. And I was actually I always call myself an intermediate level builder. There were people on LittleBigPlanet that could make incredibly complex levels. I was not one of those people, and there were people that just could not make anything. I was not one of those people. I could build something, but, it wasn't insane, but I could build. The amazing thing is I remember who this is too. That's one of my old PSN buddies that I haven't talked to in a long time. I really wish I had taken more pictures, actually. Wow, there's 252 people online right now. That's I don't really know what to think about that. I guess that's an okay number. 10 million levels published in total, 6 million published since I last played. Whoa. So the My Planet section, this is going to show you all of your published levels. It's going to give you some statistics on how your levels are doing. I have 104 hearts. I've published 9 levels. This was like, I think this was my first level. It's got the most plays. And yeah, this has the most plays. 8,000 plays. This is 3,000. The Endless Stairs was a cool little level I tried to do. These ones I'm pretty proud of. It's like an increasingly difficult set of levels, mini levels built in a level, I guess you could say. So here's my hearted levels. These are all community levels that I played and I really enjoyed. Oh my god, there's actually one person playing something over here. Wow, 4 million plays. Well, they're gone now. But these are all the levels that I really enjoyed, and I don't think we can really have a better way to start it off than to play the infamous Rickrolled Sackrolled level. This guy recreated the Rickroll in LittleBigPlanet, and my god, is it dope. Sack rolled, baby. Oh, yeah. Come here to take a photo and cherish your epic fail. Oh my god, this guy made such a great level. I mean, he really did. Oh yeah, the 4 million plays Motorstorm level. We all know I'm a huge Motorstorm fan, so this level actually blew up too. This was like one of the most viral levels on LittleBigPlanet, and it's Motorstorm. This guy made some pretty awesome cars and a really cool track for you to go down. Oh, this is so cool, man. This is a really good track. Very creative. He's got full-on shocks put on his car. Some good old springs, coils there. Takes a nice little picture. Big rig blows up. I don't quite remember this one, but if I liked it, then I liked it for a reason. And 1.5 million plays. Alright, seems pretty nice, right? We got a nice little ship going. We got fake water, because this guy is waiting for LittleBigPlanet 2 to be released, where they actually have real water physics. Oh no! Oh! Ooh, he's got like cool little clam monsters that actually work. Oh, he's up! Oh, this is so cool! Oh, this guy made a whole giant crab. I mean, he's made of wood. That's wood material. But he's so cool. Ah! That was cool. Weak point. Oh, it's so cool how this guy did that. He's down. But, so yeah, let's jump into a level, and let's do a create right now. And we'll go with a blank template, and we'll just run through a little bit of the tools. So, you know, blank level, the meter on the left is kind of, you know, the complexity of your level. If it gets too full, you can't build anymore. And, obviously, you can customize your character like crazy. That was something, this is something you can do at any time, not just when you're editing. So you can change your outfit to anything you want, but we all know that. I always like to keep it simple with my burlap sack and my dragon thing, but you can go crazy. Actually, I should have some costumes in here. I do, I have costumes. Have my nice little lady costume, my my Scream costume, my regular costume. You could be a little devil, or I could be myself in a business suit with a little sack child. My god, I actually set that up Look at me. That is me almost 10 years ago. But we can get into the materials section, and you can see this is like the baseline for like the entire game, essentially. Pick a material that you want. So I can pick some spongy material here, which is grabbable. The game was built on a plane system, so there's a back plane right there that I'm currently sitting on. I can tap this to expand to 2 planes, then I can move it forward or back, or I can expand to all 3 planes, and I can draw my material across, and there it is. If I draw it while it's on the floor, it's attached to the floor. If I draw it up and then let go, it falls to the ground. If I want it to stay in mid-air while editing, I can take the regular cursor tool, pick it up, place it there, and then I can pause the game and leave it there. And the pause system is something that you'll use quite frequently for, moving objects and things that you have to get in place to properly set up. Stickers, of course, to have fun. The real place you'll spend a lot of time in is the functions and tools section. This is where I can turn something into fire. I can electrify it. And here's where we get really complex. I can connect this rod to there. I believe that will keep it solid now. Oh, no, it won't. Okay, but, that's what you do. It's all about experimentation and learning a little bit. And the game did have a tutorial, a building tutorial. I can get into more options here in basic settings, and I can increase the size of this rod even further. I can increase the strength, actually, so now maybe it will hold. I can make it visible or not visible. Let's just say it is visible. Still not very strong, I guess, but now I can expand it a little bit further. If we jump back into tools, we've got character enhancements, hazards, setting up a race, setting up keys, the camera system, so I can place that there, base it on some player proximity, increase that zone to wherever I want it, so when the player walks to about there. And then you go to stickers. Of course, you have a myriad of stickers to use to dress up your level. Accessories, these are things that you can't really edit. These are just objects that are objects, and so they're pretty preset, and you just kind of have to figure out where you want to put them, but they mostly they add a little sense of believability to your level. So I can add this to make something look a little grungy, you know what I mean, for like a metal-y type level. Apply something like that to wherever you might need it. And then audio objects to set up music and whatnot. And you can change your background, even on the fly, so you don't have to worry about picking a template right away that you're not happy with. This is one of the first levels I ever made. It's terrible looking, I know. But you can see where a full edited level, like how it looks, And you can see where things can get a little sketchy and dicey. You can see my level meter too is a little full, but that's because I didn't really know how to efficiently build. So I can pause right here, you know what I mean? I can get into the mishmash of everything, so I can check out these rods and I can see the mechanics of what they're doing. Is it stiff? The timing I have set for it, the length. Let's jump right into like one of the last levels of the game. We'll do, that right there, the bunker, I believe is what, we want, it's the bunker. This is a pretty infamous level because one of the trophies in LittleBigPlanet is to complete every story level without dying, and I believe it's you inadvertently also have to do that because you have to collect everything in the game. To collect everything in the game, you need to not die and earn a no lives lost bonus. And the bunker is up there for being probably the toughest level in the original game. And it's quite often that you will die in it. But what was always great about LittleBigPlanet's original vision was that everything you see in the story levels are things that you can make on your own. You know what I mean? Like, all the tools in the story levels are just the regular base tools that you have at your disposal when you're editing your own level. And that was something Media Molecule was like pretty crazy about back then. Like, we really want people to go nuts with this stuff. And sure, we have a cute little story. where you're in this little fantasy world and whatnot, and it's all well and good, but everything you see, you can do yourself. And I think it's even fair to say, as I'm playing the original base game now, and even seeing original story levels, it's kind of shocking because I'm looking at this, and this looks like a very simple level, and this is one of the last levels in the entire game. And this looks really simple to me, actually, when I start looking at all the tools and whatnot and what was used to make this story level. And so it's quite eye-opening, and it's not out of the realms of craziness to say that the community really outshined Media Molecule. They put out the tools, and they really made something special. In this game, that's why this game became so awesome and got so much love, deservedly so, when it came out. I remember playing this so much, and it was a game where a lot of my friends who were so crazy about playing the latest Call of Duty, you know, playing Grand Theft Auto 4, I convinced a lot of my friends to buy this game. Which, okay, if they were playing games like Call of Duty, why would they mess around with a game like this? And it totally worked. You know, they loved it. They had a great time. And I think that was the magic of the game, is that it got everybody to play. And that's what my original little story was about, you know. I'd never expected to have that attractive girl from high school talk to us, but it was LittleBigPlanet that sparked our interest immediately. Because that was just like a thing. Wow, everybody, that's LittleBigPlanet. Very different from the style of remembering videos I've been filming so far, but wow, this was just a really special game to talk about. Because it was something else for its time, and it'll always be remembered that way for what it was. And certainly we will look at LittleBigPlanet 2 eventually. That game was also very, very special, and I think that game had the same level of impact as it did from the first game, which kind of lends us into the disbelief that LBP3 just didn't have that same spark, because it's just kind of came out in a different time period within the realms of PS4 and X1. But thank you everybody for watching this video, and I'll see you all in my next one.